Hey Scorpio, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are actually doing the monthly readings. I am going to be looking at sort of 3 topics within the month. So important energy for the month, career and financials, as well as love. I'm going to be doing that as a 3x3. So we will be looking at 3 portions there, the overview, the challenge, and then the advice for each of those topics. Okay. I will be doing that this week with the Green Glyphs Lenormand. I do have also the Aboji blog Lenormand to clarify. But I also have the Shine from the Inside Oracle as well. So we will get an overview for the whole month for you from that as well. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Leave me comments. Let me know if there's anything particular you would like to look into, any topics you would like. Personal readings are available in the description box. All my info is in there. Make sure you do subscribe so you're up to date with all the readings. Every month we have shadow work, and we do have the monthly overview readings every month, as well as quite a lot of other readings available throughout the month. Okay, but starting off for you, Scorpio energy in July 2025. Scorpio energy for July 2025. Halfway through the year already. Get back to nature and reconnect to your hippie roots. Okay, so this is, even if you don't have hippie roots, so to speak, although, quite a lot of us that probably are watching this sort of thing, we do have some sort of background where we would sort of, consider ourselves a hippie in one way or another. We all love, similar things. The spiritual stuff sometimes can be perceived as the hippie sort of stuff. I do feel it for there is probably a Scorpio in my life in particular where this would actually be referring to tie-dye. All right, so I do feel that there's an energy there of tie-dyeing coming through with that hippie, the hippie roots statement there. But getting back to nature and reconnecting to your hippie roots. So for a lot of you, this is really, grounding yourself this month in, the core of your spirit, rather than getting, all this stuff goes on in the day-to-day life and the material world that we have sort of no choice but to focus on. But there's a lot within you that connects you to this earth and connects you to your own soul in a lot of different ways. And that's all about grounding yourself back into that energy and getting back in touch with the things that you really love about life and the things that, make your soul sort of shine and make you really happy. They may not have anything to do with money or your day-to-day life, but and can be as simple as, going for a walk through the park, on a beach, those sorts of things. Actual nature may be the key for some of you there, but for others of you, it may be some other stuff like craft sort of stuff, projects. Those sort of project type things are popping up here for me. Like I said, with the tie-dye, I personally, that's something that I do enjoy to, mess around with those sorts of things sometime, get into those little crafty things. And, I'm definitely not someone who is very good at tie-dye, but I definitely have, mucked around with that and, intrigued in different patterns. And I'm sort of seeing here too the fractals in nature coming through for some reason there as well. I do feel as though that may be something to do with photography for somebody there as well, or maybe it's some sort of art form, art pieces or something like that is coming through strongly there as well. Okay, but Scorpio, like I said, doing a 3x3 spread for you this month. I will lay out all the cards and then we'll sort of go from there. Okay, so Scorpio, July energy for Scorpio, please. Starting off with the important energy for Scorpio in July. We have the overview, the challenge, and the advice. Career and finances for Scorpio in July. We have the overview, the challenge and the advice, as well as love. Okay, love for Scorpio in July. We have the overview, we have the challenge, as well as the advice. Okay, relatively straightforward messages for you, Scorpio. Starting off with the important energy for your month, we do see a strong month of connection for you. We have the ring coming through here. This is all about commitments and connections, like your connection to the commitments that you're making this month, or that you have already made, and your your commitment to certain connections that you've made, whether it be to people or to things. So for an example here, we all have, a lot of us have a commitment to a certain job that, I'm committed to this job, and that's going to, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm committed to certain hours. And so I'm going to do my best to, stay committed to that in that same sort of way. So this is all sort of coming under the microscope a little bit for you this month. That being your important energy is really focusing on the commitments that you have to others and other things in your life. As well as, I do feel for some of you here, your commitment to yourself is coming through a little bit there as well, especially when that's the challenge we have for you. We have the fox as your challenge with this important energy. So you are a little bit challenged about being, being clever about what's the best things for yourself, okay, and what actually is going to help you survive. I do feel as though you are a little bit challenged. The fox is it can be a bit of a selfish energy, and that's your challenge. Your challenge this month is anything that makes you feel that you are being a little bit selfish, or you're putting yourself first, you're doing what you need to do. That is actually a bit of a challenge for you this month. So you sort of may find the opposite is true for you this month, where you're feeling that I don't want to be selfish. I'm trying so I keep everything I keep doing, even though I've got all these other commitments, and I want to stay committed to them, but it's a challenge to actually do what I need to do for myself. So it's kind of this balance between staying committed to all these external things, as well as staying committed to yourself and your responsibility for yourself. Because taking care of you is one of your responsibilities, Scorpio. So, and it is a commitment that you need to maybe remake to yourself this month, is that you hang on, I will put myself first when I need to. That these other commitments to all this external stuff can't come ahead of my commitment to myself and what I truly desire out of my life. That actually needs to be the number one thing for myself. But it may be a bit of a challenge this month to keep that in mind, to keep focused on all of these different commitments and how they actually balance out together. Although we do see that your advice here, we have the key. So the key is really, opening up to the opportunities that are available to you. So I do feel for a lot of you that there's advice being given here to open up to brand new opportunities that you maybe haven't even considered committing yourself to, and you maybe are actually, offering. Look, I might take that opportunity as well, and so maybe there is actually some new commitments that you're making this month that are sort of adding on to the load of commitments that you're finding yourself with, the relationships that you're finding yourself with here, trying to stay committed to everything, but still, be open to new opportunities and new pathways that are coming your way, because this is definitely, all doors lead to success when we see this as your advice here, that no matter what you do, it's going to work out for you one way or another, Scorpio. So it's just kind of this energy of just go through that doorway. If you're given an opportunity, take it. I do feel a strong energy of advice being to take opportunities when they're presented to you in July, especially even if it is things that you do need to sort of have some level of commitment towards, or relationships towards these things. But it definitely still getting this, connecting back to yourself, and still not allowing that challenge of looking after oneself to continue to challenge you, to actually make sure you are putting that as a priority as well. All right. I do kind of feel for a lot of you, Scorpio, that to consider your commitment to yourself as an external commitment. You have these relationships with all these people around you, these things around you. Add yourself to that list. Okay. So don't think of it as, oh, myself, that I have to do this for myself. No, if you think about it as I have to do this for that person, me, it may actually just help flip that a little bit, make it a little bit easier for you, I think, to talk about yourself in third person when it comes to I'm committed to this person, I'm committed to Scorpio, I'm committed to me. That may actually help you just put that in perspective, that you're just as important as all these other connections as well. Okay. When it comes to your career and finances, the overview we have for you here is with business, with career, with your financials. Changes are coming, very swift, abrupt things happening for you this month. July is the month of things happening very, very quickly. Things being cut out of your life very, very quickly and replaced with something else completely. This is the card of harvest. Okay, so it's not just cutting things out of your life, it's cutting things out so that we can transform that energy into something else and give more of our energy to other things in our life, and not the things that, because the things that get cut out with the scythe are generally things that need to be cut out. Because like I said, it's the card of harvest. So we do see a scythe being used, in wheat fields, so that when the wheat needs to be harvested, the scythe comes through and cuts all that wheat down so that it can go to the next stage of its life at the wheat mill, and then turns into bread or whatever. So think about these things. If things are ending or getting cut out swiftly, very unexpectedly, even in your life this month, things changing very, very quickly out of nowhere. Don't think of it as I'm losing that. That's been cut out of my life completely. Think about it as it's that wheat. It was time for it to get cut down so that it can then, so that all that energy can go to the next stage. I can go to the next stage of my life now, because that last stage has now ended. It has gotten to the full extent of its growth, and it's not going to grow anymore standing there in that wheat field, with all the other wheat. It's time for it to get harvested. It's time to move to the next stage of life here. So I do feel as though there may be just some very, very quick changes this month. Things sort of very unexpectedly coming out of nowhere and happening in your life when it comes to career and finances. But try not, even if things seem bad, try not to, keep remembering that it's the end of one phase, the start of another. It's the next phase is now able to happen. Okay, so that's the challenge, though, is the ship. Okay, we do see ourselves a little bit challenged this month with a distance, with travel, with starting that journey. It's a little bit hard. I feel like for this particular sort of reading, it does feel like motivation. Traveling in that sense, that starting that journey, that getting on that ship and just going for it, does seem to be a bit of a challenge. So it's kind of like, you feel like you're in that ship that's sort of, it's not going anywhere. There's no wind beneath your sails. So you're kind of just sitting in the ocean going, oh, what's going on? I don't know where I'm going. I'm kind of just bobbing here in the ocean. So even though things are happening very suddenly, you are a little bit challenged by knowing, how much distance to place between yourself and those things, and what direction to steer that ship in, and do I need to travel to but there does seem to be some sort of travel element here as well. Some of you may need to, there may be an aspect of, you may actually be challenged by needing to travel. I am just picking up on that for a couple of you here, Scorpio, that one of the things that may come in out of nowhere, there may be a very sudden need to travel, and that's what's actually challenging you this month, because you were not expecting to have to travel, and it kind of delays other plans or puts things, you're having to all of a sudden work around this travel that you're having to undertake. It may not be a huge distance that you're traveling here, but I am getting something happening very, very quickly out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it's kind of like you have to travel to see family or something like that, to help somebody, that sort of a thing. Clarify the need to travel for Scorpio. I know it's only a couple of Scorpio here, but can I just get some clarity on the need to travel? Why are these Scorpios needing to travel in July? Unexpectedly. Very unexpectedly. We do see the scythe coming through, clarifying the scythe and the ship, followed by the moon this time. So something that does sort of stir up your emotions a little bit here. And then the ship on the bottom. So it's kind of clarifying the message with the same message. But it's also adding in this layer of feeling drawn to do something, that you have to do something. Your intuition is telling you that you have to do this. There's probably some emotional sensitivity around this, that your emotions are spiked, and so you kind of have to follow those emotions. So I am getting, for a couple of you, it's something happening with a family member, and you're having to suddenly travel to do something or help them or something along those lines. Your advice this month, we have the feminine. So I will clarify that as well. But your advice is to, really, really curve into your feminine energy, which once again, that's bringing us back to this connect to nature energy. Ground yourself in your feminine energy, which is, where you reconnect to that softer side of yourself that does nurture and protect, your emotional side, that trusts your emotions. And, that's why we're sort of trusting that moon energy there, that we're reconnecting with our true self and our true, the things that we love and care about in this world, what's really important to us. Your advice being to really think about what makes you feel like you're able to grow and nurture and share love. What really inspires those softer emotions in your soul. Clarify the woman energy, the feminine energy here for Scorpio, please. Okay, just one sec. Okay, sorry about the weird pause. I've got the puppy running around like a maniac. At the moment, he was just about to knock over the camera, so I just had to pause quickly. Okay, so clarifying that feminine energy, we do have the mountain and the letter. So this is communication about the work that you're needing to put in, but in a very feminine way. So you're being advised to nurture perseverance and determination within yourself, in a soft, emotional kind of a way, to nurture obstacles, so that you can overcome them, because and communicate very clearly about potential obstacles, and communicate very clearly about the work that is necessary, that you want to grow and heal and protect and nurture, and the emotions, especially emotional obstacles, sort of preempting things that the feminine energy is very intuitive. So you're kind of very clearly communicating, when it comes to career and finances. You are very clearly communicating preemptive work that may need to be done. So, preemptive obstacles that you are foreseeing, that you're willing to, put in the work to nurture and overcome those things. So I don't know exactly what that means, Scorpio, but I believe it's one of those messages that will make itself known for those of you where that you do need to know that, and it will resonate a little bit different for everybody. And it's kind of, I am picking up for some of you here, it's like, I know it's not very useful to you right now, but I kind of get for a few of you, give it a week or two and you'll be like, oh, that's what that meant. So I don't, but it's just one of their messages. It's one of those Tyler Tarot messages where Tyler says, I'm just not connecting to this reading, but then the people listening understand the message more than the person saying it. And that's what's happening here. I'm kind of picking up on that. So I don't necessarily understand the message, but it's going to resonate for a couple of you who need to hear it anyway. But when it comes to love, the overview is that mountain once again. So, love is a bit of an obstacle for you this month. I'm not going to lie, that there is this energy of, love feels like a bit of hard work this month, that even worrying about love does. Sorry, Scorpio. Puppy issues. Gotta love. What do they say? Never work with children or animals. Yeah. But yeah. So love is just. It's a bit of a delay. I feel more than anything. More than anything huge and dramatic. It's just kind of. I need to put love off at the moment. It's a bit of a delay because it's just too much hard work. I've got too much other stuff going on that it's just too much effort to really mess around too much with love and that sort of stuff, because the challenge we're seeing here is the garden. So the challenge is the social aspect of love, that you just don't have the social battery or the social like the time to put into meeting up with friends, meeting up with people that you want to date. This is my dating card, and that's the challenge this month, to actually meet people and spend time with people and, get out and about and be known that in love this month. You just it just kind of feels like you just don't really have time, let alone the energy to put into love this month. But then your advice is quite interesting, because we do have the Clover as your advice card here, and the Clover card does tell us to sort of take a chance, jump in the deep end, and take a risk. So I kind of feel as if there's something mysterious going on here. So I want to clarify why that is your advice, because your overview and your challenge are kind of showing us that you're not necessarily interacting that much with love this month. Clarify the Clover energy for Scorpio in July, please. I do apologize for any background noise there. This puppy is chewing the table. So maybe that's why we're seeing the Clover, is because maybe it's not that you're being encouraged to take a chance, take a risk on love or on a person when it comes to love. We do have the broom, the bed, as well as the ring. So that's kind of, especially the bed and the ring, that's like taking a rest with relationships, having a rest period with relationships. Yes, there may be some bed, we all know what else goes on in the bedroom. So there may just be some fun, very physical stuff happening when it comes to relationships this month. But it kind of feels like that's all you've got the energy for, is the physical stuff, because the rest of the month you're resting on love. You're having a nap on that kind of thing. You're up in that hammock just chilling, not too worried about that. You're spring cleaning the love department by having a rest, that kind of thing, that you're sweeping out all the just stale energy by just resting on it at the moment. Even if you have a partner, Scorpio, it's kind of this energy of like, we're just having a rest point here. It's not love and things like that. We all see highs and lows and highs and lows. We're just in the middle at the moment, where we're just chilling. And if it's if it's a positive relationship, we can definitely get through a point of just relaxed energy, of nothing really going on. Sometimes we need those sorts of periods in love, to really make the most of the high points when they do come around. So it's kind of like that spring cleaning, just getting rid of any energy that is too high or too low within the love stuff, and just resting and relaxing, and just taking it easy when it comes to love this month. Okay, so that's what we've got for you, Scorpio. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all again soon.